Hello, everybody out there in Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce land. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. It is hard to fathom. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around saying that. 2022. I feel like the last 2 years were a decade long and a couple of days long all at the same time. We have achieved time compression. Uh, but I digress. Happy 2022. I hope everybody in our network and beyond and throughout the entire state of Wisconsin had just an amazing and fulfilling holiday season and new year, a safe and healthy one. Uh, we've had a lot to celebrate as a chamber over 2021, and honestly, we're kicking it into high gear for 2022. If you thought 2021 was big for the chamber, oh boy, look out. We got some big, crazy stuff coming. I'm just making sure that our LinkedIn is open right now so I can respond to any comments. If you are listening on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, give us a holler. We decided not to move forward with Twitch. Not the right time, not the right audience. It was worth a look to see if there was anything worth gaining traction there. But Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, give us a holler. Let us know you can hear us. And excited today to have our president and CEO of the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce, Saul Newton, the founder of the organization, our fearless leader, our strategic mind, joining us on the show today because we're going to talk about our ambitious plans for 2022 and beyond. We're going to talk about events. We're going to talk about programming. We're going to talk about overarchingly, like where do we hope to be? What is our vision? You know, it's amazing how many people out there, how many professionals and how many business leaders don't know the difference between a mission, textbook style, a mission statement, and a vision statement. And I think it's important for us to talk about our vision. It's in a perfect world, if we were to accomplish everything that we set out to accomplish, what would that world look like? And our vision for the end of 2022, well, honestly, I'm excited to hear what Saul Newton has to say about it. And what's our 5-year vision? In a perfect world, if we check all the boxes and are able to support veterans and military families and the wider Wisconsin business community in the way that we set out to do, what does Wisconsin look like at the end of this year? And then we're going to go ahead and reverse engineer the living heck out of it. I do want to bring your attention before we bring him on. We had a little bit of a facelift, minor branding tweak. You'll notice on our social media, all of our banners and our profile pictures look a little bit different. And the reason why I say this is because we also have a new intro video with a new intro song for this show, a new outro video and outro song for this show that I'm really excited about for 2 reasons. One, the music, 3 reasons, actually. Backtracking, 3 reasons. One, the music is slamming. I didn't think we'd improve upon the last one, but I think we found a good one. 2, the video content isn't stock footage, man. It is stuff that we actually collected from our events and exploits this year. And the third reason is it's way shorter. So, I'm not saying like, we'll get into it right after this, click, and then like a 47-minute video later, we get into the actual content that we're trying to get into. Come on, wake up, man. You lose viewers that way. So it's only about 8 seconds long. I think you can hang in there for that. And before I click this button to bring the debut of our new little intro, I'll call it a bumper because it's less than 10 seconds long. Check out the videos that are embedded in there, but in particular, the one on the right, because it's Saul, who's our guest today, like engaging with an alpaca, which is something that him and I did this last year, hanging out in central Wisconsin. We went to one of our members has an alpaca farm, and we support our members everywhere. So we showed up and we're hanging out and having a good time. And if I ever thought in my entire life, I never would have thought in my entire life that we would have actually been able to get on video Saul Newton engaging with an alpaca. I didn't have that on my 2021 bingo card, but there it was. So pay attention to that. We're going to talk to Saul. We're going to get into our vision for 2022 and beyond right after this new bumper. See, that's it. I think it's less than 6 seconds. All right. But we get the let's go in there. Everybody gets pumped up, ready to rock. You get a little snippet of what we do for businesses, for our workforce pillar, and for our community, which may or may not include the petting of alpacas. Introducing President and CEO of the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce, Saul Newton. My friend, how are you?
I am motivated after that bumper. That's
right?
Great.
Short and sweet. Let's just get right to the nitty and the gritty. Before we look ahead, our last episode, which was a few weeks ago, we took a little bit of a break. Everybody knows that. We talked about what kind of a year 2021 was for us. So we've kind of talked about that extensively, exhaustively. But if you can sum up 2021 for us, put it in a neat little nutshell, put a little bow on it, like your overarching feeling about 2021 and how that enables us and prepares us to have a successful 22. Do you have any closing thoughts before we slam the door on 21?
Yeah, if anything, I think that 21 for us, for a lot of nonprofits, for a lot of business owners, was all about resiliency and trying to predict the unpredictable, right? Going from the depths of the pandemic, getting vaccines rolled out, boosters rolled out, gathering restrictions lifted, figuring out how to operate in this brave new world. I know new normal is kind of an overused cliche at this point, but it really is an accurate description of the operating environment that we're in. And so, right. The last 12 months have really been educational, I think, for us as a staff, for us as an organization, just to be able to be flexible, to be willing to take risks, and make adjust fire as necessary.
Right on. And you mentioned the pandemic, and obviously at the end of 20, we as an organization had pretty much been in hibernation mode. So 21 was, with the end of 20 into 21 was our reemergence, and we hit the ground running. And we've gone over this. We did a ton of new things. We tried a lot of new things. We found some new things that worked and some new things that didn't. And then we're able to get back into live events in the summer. And so, I mean, we didn't waste any time. We just, I mean, if you guys have been in our events, you've seen it. I mean, we did not waste any time at all. And the overarching feeling was a forward momentum going into 22. Like, look out, world, here we come. And then now we're almost teetering on the edge of like, how much hesitancy do you have with the Omicron variant or wherever we are with COVID, and people are starting to shutter again and close down their doors? And, does that make you hesitant at all about our momentum, or does it further steel you or inspire you? Like, what are your current thoughts about that and how to handle it and how that informs your decision-making moving forward?
No, I think our approach all along has been that we're going to listen to the experts. We're going to listen to public health officials and public officials and the guidance that they give. And the reality is right now, at least in the state of Wisconsin, despite the curveball that Omicron has thrown and the disruption that it has presented for some businesses, overarchingly, the economy is doing really well for veteran business owners, for employers. Folks are hiring, looking to fill positions at unprecedented rates. So we certainly don't have the luxury of stepping back because the need is so great, even with a disruptive factor like Omicron. So we're trying, when we put on programs, we are following the public safety guidelines that are in place wherever we happen to be, regardless of whether we are in Eau Claire or Green Bay, Madison, Milwaukee. We've been all over the state in the last 6 months. We're going to be all over the state in the next 12 months, and we're just going to continue to hold to that principle and trust people to make the decisions that they're most comfortable with. And that's why it's important that we're able to continue doing things like this, in addition to in-person offering virtual options as well. And of course, we encourage everybody to listen to the experts, get vaccinated, get boosted, because that's the quickest way that we're going to be able to get through this.
Right on. Well said. And I think we have, we have things set up, and we've experienced enough over the last year plus to know how to continue to provide our services and our information and our programming in a hybrid fashion, in person, with masks, without masks, inside, outside, online, combination, whatever. So we're going to get you that information and provide those services and give you those programming options that are valuable to you, no matter what. Like our goal is, if I'm hearing you right, is, we're just going to correspond with whatever suggestions we get, but nothing's going to stop us from getting this out there. And, we're not canceling anything. We may have to change our delivery, but I mean, we're rocking it out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really comes down to, as I said, there is a substantial need for support for veteran entrepreneurs, business owners, employers. As I said, the economy is really emerging and doing well. Unemployment has basically returned to pre-pandemic levels. We're seeing a wave of new businesses being started. And we know that there are some unique needs among the veteran military affiliated population in Wisconsin, whether that's through business ownership, through employment, and that's what we're here to do, is to strengthen Wisconsin's economy by supporting our service members, our veterans, and their families.
Precisely. And we meet those needs in a variety of ways. And the first thing that I want to ask you about and I want to talk about is our events. Because we ended strong last year with our biggest and best ever 4th annual business conference, Wisconsin Veterans Business Conference. It was an unmitigated, unparalleled success from a attendance standpoint, from a number of exhibitors standpoint, from a presenter standpoint, from a sponsor standpoint, from a revenue standpoint, from a value add for our members and sponsors standpoint. I mean, across the board, it was a win. So I really want to build on that momentum and talk about the cool things that we have planned to build on that in 22. But before I do that, anybody that's watching right now, and I see that there's some people watching live, which is awesome. Thank you so much. If you have questions for Saul about, what we do, how we do it, where we do it, why we do it, if he knows any alpacas that he can personally introduce you to, or anything in between. If you're just joining us, that didn't make any sense. But if you've been watching since the beginning, you get it. And you're in on the joke, okay? But please throw them in the comments. We want to address your questions, comments, concerns live. So, Saul, events-wise, traditionally, since the founding of this organization, really has been this organization's bread and butter, the warm handshake, the networking, the relationship building. I anticipate we'll continue that in 22. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, look, I have a joke that I often repeat, and I think I stole it from somebody, but it's that the military has the world's best alumni network and the world's worst alumni association. And part of our mission is really to help foster those relationships, to be able to connect those dots and bring together folks who have a shared background, have shared experiences, are looking to connect with other folks who have a military affiliation, or maybe they're not veterans themselves, but are looking for ways that they can support, tangibly support veteran and military folks across the state. And so, yeah, events have really been a core function of what we've done, because there's, in addition to offering valuable information on how best to operate your business, how to attract customers, how to recruit and retain veteran and military affiliated talent, how to connect with the veteran community, the network of nonprofit and community organizations across the state. Underlying all of that is the opportunity to meet and connect and build relationships with other folks. And so events are going to continue to be a core function for us, returning to everything from casual and informal networking events like we hosted just last night here in Milwaukee. We're going to be hitting every region of the state at least once this year, if not multiple times. And ranging from those informal networking events to large events like our business conference and our upcoming workforce summit, and all points in between. But what I think distinguishes us is we are the only business association in the state that's dedicated to serving the veteran and military population. And what we've really built through this organization is a statewide network, a true supportive community where folks are really committed to seeing one another be successful. And it's by offering those opportunities for engagement, those opportunities to meet new people who, and I guarantee you might even run across some familiar faces that you had no idea had any veteran or military affiliation or background. But that really is, I think, what enables us to do everything else is the fact that we have a really strong network of business owners and professionals and employers across the state. And that comes from being able to bring those folks together.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the musters. There was a muster last night. Musters are our most popular events, and for good reason. This one, more often than not, they're free. Sometimes we have kind of a bigger muster where we have food and some other things, and there would sometimes be a fee charged just to cover, to make things even on our end. We're not trying to break your bank or anything like that. But last night's was free. It was in downtown Milwaukee. Had like 20 people there. So great opportunity for people to meet face to face and help build and foster relationships that lead to business and professional success, career success, entrepreneurial successes. And we have countless case studies of folks who have I got my job because of this chamber connection, or I was able to sell X product, or I created X business relationship, or, just an endless sea of that. And that's really what makes us tick. And if you look at our plan, just going through the first half of the year, chamber muster, Milwaukee, Eau Claire. Where else do we got? Talking with Raymond Roberts right now about Kenosha Racine, Stevens Point, Oshkosh. That's Q1 alone. All right. Then we talk about, there's another one in Milwaukee, La Crosse, Wausau, Green Bay. When Saul says we're going around the whole state to provide in-person support to help foster relationships in every corner of the state, he means it. And that's what we're doing. That's the first half of the year alone. So those are our musters, and all of you are familiar with our office hours. Obviously, you're watching it right now, and our morning formations, our educational series stuff. But I want to talk about our spotlight events. You did mention our upcoming Veterans in the Workforce Summit. You may not have said that it's on March 22nd, but it's on March 22nd. Can you tell everybody, it hasn't even been posted online yet, but this is a huge event. This is up there with our business conference. It's also our 4th annual Veterans in the Workforce Summit. It's a big deal, but it's a little different than the business conference in a very important way. Can you talk about what is that? Why are we doing it? Who's it for? And so on.
Absolutely. The Veterans in the Workforce Summit is an event that we have hosted in the past. It has been at a little bit of a smaller scale, but just recognizing the critical talent shortage that exists across the entire state, and how uniquely positioned our veteran and military population is to address that talent shortage. We are putting together this large-scale event that will bring it's essentially the premier event for employers, HR professionals, hiring managers, recruiters, anyone who is looking to hire. If you want to learn how to recruit or retain veteran or military affiliated talent, this is the event for you. We're going to have a litany, a wide array of different resources, organizations that offer job training and upskilling where you can find veterans who are looking for work. We're going to be highlighting new programs that we're bringing to the state. One in particular that we'll have more information coming out about is a direct pipeline to transitioning service members. If employers
That's top secret, Saul.
if employers are looking to connect with service members as they are leaving active duty and coming back to Wisconsin, we're going to have a new resource available to help them do that. We're going to have a lot of information about programs that are well established nationally, but maybe aren't as well known to Wisconsin employers, programs like SkillBridge. And I want to mention one other thing, which is, we've talked a lot about the impact of all of the events over the last 12 to 18 months have had on our Guard and Reserve service members in the state. And we've done a lot to draw attention to the series of activations and deployments, everything from COVID testing to election security, civil unrest, now vaccinations. Now we have our National Guard and Reserve members being relied upon to fill critical talent shortage areas like healthcare. All of these folks have stepped up and have continued to serve in really admirable ways. And unfortunately, we've seen that has come at a professional cost for some of those folks in terms of employment, in terms of opportunities. And so one of the other things that we're going to be talking a lot about in the coming weeks and months, and that we will have a focus on at this workforce summit, will be how can Wisconsin employers step up and take advantage of the immense talent and experience and skill that these folks who are serving in the Guard, their families bring to the table, so that they have family supporting, fulfilling, meaningful jobs, and they are and our employers are able to address the number one challenge, I think, across the board, which is talent.
So to clarify, this Veterans in the Workforce Summit, our 4th annual Veterans in the Workforce Summit, is for business leaders and hiring managers that own or work for businesses or corporations or companies who wish to acquire veteran talent.
That's right. That's right.
This is not necessarily catered for the veteran job seeker.
That's right. And that's very deliberate. Number one, because there are a lot of those types of resources and organizations and events out there. There are a lot of job fairs, career fairs, things like that.
There's a ton of job fairs, and
and some of them are great, and others have room to improve. But in anyone who's watching, who's interested in participating in one of those or learning about those, we are more than happy to find one near you or to connect you with those organizations that put those on. But our focus is making sure that the folks that are showing up to those job fairs are engaging with employers who are culturally competent, who are truly veteran friendly and veteran ready employers who understand the talent and the skill and the contributions and the value that these individuals bring to the table. We want to make sure that as veterans engage with employers, those employers really see how much value those candidates bring to the table and how they can best leverage their experience and their skill set to impact their workplace.
Right on. And so that is our spotlight, our premier event for Q1. We call it the 4th annual. It's been years since we've done it due to COVID. Last time we did it was end of 19.
Correct.
Downtown Milwaukee at Baird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great event, man. Really great event. But it's been a while, so we're definitely ready to rock it out. And like Saul said, we are creating creating these opportunities. This is for people who wish to acquire veteran talent or people who work in a discipline that helps people acquire people. That's, I mean, it's, if you're part of the pipeline, that is anything that's part of the pipeline, except for the entry point that is the career seeker, then this is for you. And you should, it's definitely advantageous to be there. So keep an eye out for that. Follow us on all of our social platforms, because there's going to be news and a sign up link for that coming out very, very soon. All in all, Q1, it looks like we have 21 events planned currently, with a few more actually to add to the calendar. And that is in-person and live events. Saul, myself, and Christian, and our board and our amazing ambassadors and volunteers are going to be working in tandem to bring those valuable opportunities to you and your business and your career. Q2, we've got 2 spotlight events, and in Q2, we're going to be hitting La Crosse, again, Green Bay, I mean, Wausau, we're all over the place. But our 2 big spotlight events, first, our Women Veteran-Owned Business Recognition and Benefit. That's going to be at the Wisconsin Veterans Museum in Madison. We had this event in Milwaukee this last fall, and it was incredibly inspirational and uplifting. It was one of our best events I think we had all year, and we were really excited about that. So keep an eye out for that. And then, Saul, can you tell us about Veterans Light Up the Arts?
Absolutely. Veterans Light Up the Arts is actually one of my favorite things that we do. We've I have to think back. I think that this is probably the 3rd or 4th year that we'll have put this on. It's a multidisciplinary art showcase of all veteran artists. Every mode of art, every type of artist that you can think of, from painters, photographers, sculptors, visual artists, performing artists like musicians. We've had filmmakers, we've had stand-up comedians, but it's really an opportunity to showcase how much veterans contribute to the arts and cultural landscape of the state of Wisconsin, and how meaningful artistic expression can be in addressing some of the challenges that we know some folks face, but also through that challenge and through that expression, really making our communities more vibrant. We know the important role that the arts play in quality of life and vibrancy of communities, and so it's really great to be able to showcase just how folks who, whether it's part of a health or a wellness program, or it's just a hobby, or it's their profession, these incredibly talented folks who are constantly making communities more diverse and constantly making communities better. And it's the only, to my knowledge, it's the only type of event of its type in the state that really brings together and focuses on creative professionals and artists and folks who have that military background.
It may be one of the only events like it in the whole country, to be honest with you. It's a really innovative idea that came out of the incredible brain of one Mr. Saul Newton. It really is. If we have a gala, this is it. I mean, the closest thing that we have to a gala as an organization is this. It's at the Milwaukee Art Museum right there on Lake Michigan. It's a beautiful building, really iconic exterior and interior. A great place to hold an event like this. And like Saul said, we feature exclusively veteran and military spouse artists, visual artists, performing artists, theatrical artists, musical artists, you name it. We have presentations, we have performances. It is a celebration, and it does a lot to destigmatize the general average civilian's idea of what a veteran or military member is, as some robotic follower, not necessarily a creative. People that don't know us or our community don't necessarily view us like creative. Isn't the first word that would come up on their Family Feud board to describe us.
Right.
And I get it. But there's a lot of talent in our military and our veteran community. And this is a showcase and a celebration of that, which I think is fantastic. And it also does give an opportunity to highlight the organizations who use the healing power of the arts to help veterans overcome the trauma of post-traumatic stress and similar. The traumas of separation anxiety from constant deployments, or being activated. I mean, the arts are so important in so many veteran and military family members' healing process. To ignore it and not celebrate it is a mistake. So we had a comment from Keith. He said, may I recommend looking into SB 688 and AB 720 to create Wisconsin Military Medics and Corpsmen Program. Legislation to create military medics and corpsmen program. Bipartisan legislation championed by Senator Jacques and Representative Sommerfeld was officially introduced in Wisconsin Senate on Veterans Day, November 11th. I'm going to have to check that out. Saul, do you know anything about that?
I do. This is an initiative that's being really spearheaded by our friends, the nonprofit organization Heroes for Healthcare.
I didn't know that comment would be so big. It's like Saul's talking and boom.
There's a lot in there. Keith. Yeah, thank you for flagging that, Keith. It's a great example of and this is something that we've been proud to contribute to in a small way. But one of the examples of kind of a mismatch in perceived between employers and transitioning service members, particularly folks coming out of the military who have technical training in healthcare, medics, corpsmen, folks who have a knowledge set that is desperately needed, especially now in our healthcare facilities. Maybe they're not at the level where they can be, for instance, registered nurses or physician's assistants, and yet they do have that foundational knowledge of how to provide immediate care, and right. This legislation would allow those folks to fill some really needed staffing challenges that healthcare facilities are facing, and give the service members the opportunity to continue their training in the medical field, and ultimately be able to go into that as their post-military profession. So thanks for flagging that, Keith. It's a really important initiative.
Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate that, Keith. If I'm not mistaken, is Heroes for Healthcare in Wisconsin here associated with that bill in some way? I know they help military members transition and fill any gaps in their knowledge or certification that would get them to a position where they could administer care. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah, that's the core of what they do. They actually looked at other states that have a similar type of program. I believe Virginia being the model that this legislation was modeled upon. But they've done a great job of getting the buy-in of all the stakeholders, the medical field, professional associations, and like I said, especially seeing the talent shortage that we see in healthcare. This is a really creative way to be able to leverage the experience that folks get in the military and be able to have an immediate impact in a way that's truly tangible and impactful.
Right on. Yeah, good stuff. See, I'm already getting motivated as it is. Let's shift to talking about programming. Because I mean, here we are. We talked about events, and we're already nearing the end here. But I do want to make sure that we talk about our program, and I want to kind of skip to what would have been my last question. If you had a magic wand and could wave it right now, and resources, people power, none of those. There was no obstacle in your way. What does the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber accomplish from a programmatic standpoint by the end of 22?
Well, I think my goal this year is to really develop our ability to address two very important and critical challenges facing veterans who are looking to start businesses. One of which is access to technical assistance. The other is access to capital. there's been a lot of research and a lot of attention called to veterans who are looking to start businesses, and we know that that businesses who start without the capital that they need to make a good start often are those that fall short. We also know that this is an area where veterans particularly struggle compared to non-veterans. One report that came from the Small Business Administration found that veterans are 4 times as likely to be denied lending capital or a bank loan to start their business than compared to non-veteran peers. That's something that we need to do something about. That's something that I hope that over the course of the next year we can work with our partners in the financial industry, our partners in the public sector, to find some creative ways that we can make sure that any veteran who wants to start a business has access to the capital that they need to be successful. The other is technical assistance and being able to address those immediate needs, provide that knowledge, and provide that direct support. And there are a lot of resources out there, ranging from the Veteran Business Outreach Center at WIBIC, small business development centers across the state. There are a lot of resources out there, but there are still gaps that need to be filled. And making sure that whether no matter where anyone may be in the state, especially as we see the rates of entrepreneurship increasing coming out of the pandemic, more people starting businesses, we want to make sure that those folks that make that jump into entrepreneurship, which obviously we feel very strongly about is a positive thing, have the support that they need. And finally, the last thing, again, I'll mention just the really critical talent shortage that all businesses in the state, our state's economy across the board is really facing. And I hope that we can, by hosting events, but also by offering some of the programs that I kind of teased a little bit, that employers across the state see veteran and military affiliated talent as not only something that would benefit their business, but something that is advantageous for them to prioritize, and that they see veterans and military service members as a solution to their hiring challenges.
Right on. Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better myself. Really excited about this upcoming year. I think we spent most of our time talking about events, but that's a huge part of what we do. And we're very excited for, all of our musters throughout the state, but then also our workforce summit, women veteran owned recognition and benefit over there in Madison. Veterans Light Up the Arts over there downtown Milwaukee in May. I mean, we just have a bunch of cool stuff happening throughout the whole state, and you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Saul, I will ask you to hang on the line. Do you have any closing thoughts here? I appreciate you joining me today.
The only thing that I'll close with is that the only way that we are able to do everything that we do, to host all of these events, and we're on track to host more than 80 events this year, offer these different programs, marketing programs, direct assistance programs. The only way that we're able to do that is because we have the support of our members, more than 300 businesses and nonprofit organizations who support us through membership. And so I would make one plug, I guess, or one request, that if anyone watching is not a member, but supports what we do or would find value in membership, that they reach out to any of us, myself, Adam, Christian, anyone associated with our organization. We would certainly love to have everyone watching involved as members of the organization.
Absolutely. Well said, Saul. Everybody, Saul Newton, the president and CEO of the Wisconsin Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And to an addendum to what he just said, that also gives us an opportunity. We love to celebrate our members. If our members have deals, if our members have successes, if they're doing some volunteer work, if they are building a new building, opening a new location, if any number of things, if they have unique thoughts or ideas about something related to the Wisconsin business world and want to share a guest blog article written by their president or so, like there are a million ways that we can feature and celebrate our members and our sponsors, and we do it and we love doing it. So be a member, be a sponsor. You get benefit from this. This isn't just a donation. It's an investment, because we leverage our network and the power of our network for your benefit, and we do it aggressively. So we love being able to say, hey, this business is killing it out here and they're doing this. Check it out. Our newsletter last year got over 300,000 unique opens, in a very targeted fashion too. And for an organization of our size that is niche and locationally bound, that's a huge number. And it's only growing. So really great marketing leverage for our members and sponsors. But we really support all of you. We want Wisconsin to succeed. When veterans, military families succeed in Wisconsin, when they thrive in Wisconsin, Wisconsin succeeds. It's a true story. It is a fact. It is verifiable. There is data behind it. And we want to help make Wisconsin the best place for veterans and military families. And we do it through our business endeavors. This has been an exciting chat. And next week, we're going to be getting into our subject matter expert guests from throughout our network and throughout the state of Wisconsin, providing you with the valuable information that you need to know. We cast a wide net. We cover a lot of really cool things. So make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms so you don't miss a single one. This outro bumper does not have Saul or Alama in it, but it does have some really great content. I'm excited about it. It's a shorter bumper. We'll see if you like it. Drop us a line on social. Let us know how much you like our bumpers. Yeah, something like that. Appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for dropping by. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. See you then.